Every now and then I do a video that I absolutely love the topic of, and this is one of those videos. Welcome to efficiencyandorganization.com. My name is Rosanna Hernandez. I am a public school administrator, former teacher. I have 2 small businesses and a very busy life. I am a big believer in the creed, the mantra, the life is short, and our goal should be as human beings to achieve so much, get a lot of fulfillment out of life, so that way we can feel accomplished and leave a legacy before we pass on. The thing is, though, that I could not achieve any of that if I wasn't able to have some systems and routines and things like that in place for me. One of them came from having an organized desk space, because for me, I'm sure if you're watching, for you too, your desk is very important to you, whether it's at home or whether it's at work. Your desk area is important to you. And so here is what we're gonna do. These are my suggestions for you. Number 1, you are going to empty out everything. And yes, I do this myself. Okay, once a year, I do this myself. Empty everything out, put it outside your doors. Then leave only the desk in the room. What you're gonna do is wipe the desk real well, everything around it, okay? The top of it, the bottom of it, the floor underneath, you're gonna wipe really well. Then you're gonna put things back again, but in a very systematic way. My suggestion would be to get little containers, and you do not have to spend a lot of money. I will put some of the items that I have purchased from Amazon before, like for example, what you see here, this is purchased from Amazon, and it's a very tidy, small area where I keep a lot of things. But look at how much space is saved. Everything is nicely organized in one accessory. So that's from Amazon. Other things like this little one I have purchased from the dollar store. So what you're gonna do is put those desk accessories, not too many of them, just maybe 4 or 5 of them, around the edges of your desk. Let's say you start to stuff them. So there's 2 slots, right? One is for pencils, one is for pens. You can have another one for highlighters if you use those a lot. Like let's say you have a container and it gets full, that's it. You cannot keep any more. So I would say test them out. Test your pens and your markers and highlighters. If they're dead, throw them out. Next, let's say you have papers. So you are only going to have on your desk an area for the papers that you are currently working on. So documents that you are currently working on. All the rest need to be labeled and put away, or they need to be shredded. If you are worrisome about shredding things that you think you might need, no problem. You are going to scan them one by one. You are going to create folders on a USB drive on your computer, and you're going to scan and save there. That way you are getting rid of it all. It's stored in the computer, and it's not taking physical space from you. Some things you probably don't want to scan. You probably need like the actual copies. For example, birth certificates. You can't just scan and keep copies. You need the originals. So those you want to have labeled folders for. So this is one that I have, that I use, and it goes down here in my drawer. They're called hanging folders, and I'll have a link for them from Amazon that you can get. You can get the legal size, which is like the longer ones. Those are the ones that I have, or you could get the legal size, just the normal size. But the key is the labeling. The labeling has to be right on, so that way you're not there like searching through a lot of stuff to be able to find what you need. For your workplace, by the way, if you find that a lot of times your things go missing because people borrow them and don't return them to you, like scissors and hole punchers, put labels on them. That way you could save them. I have labels that I keep like all the time. I use them continuously, like all the time. And so I buy the pack. I'll put a link for that on Amazon, but they're just normal labels, like address labels that I put on things that I know I want to get back that belong to me. As you put things back in the desk, you have to keep only the things that you absolutely essentially need. Everything else you must get rid of. I'll give you a good example. I still do love National Geographic magazines. And then I was like collecting them. But then it came to a point, I was like, okay, what am I doing with them? They're just taking so much space for no reason. So guess what I did, you guys? I took them to an elementary school and I left them there. I basically donated them because that way kids can look at them, at the awesome pictures that the photographers take and stuff. So I think going through and keeping only the essentials is going to be key to having a decluttered workspace. Okay, as you're organizing, you're going to give back to people what you might have borrowed. Okay, you're not going to put back in your desk what does not belong to you. Another thing, speaking of magazines and books, you're only going to keep the ones that you need to read or you want to read, or the ones like maybe a handful, maybe 4 or 5 books that you love and you absolutely don't want to part from. Other than those, you need to get rid of books. Next, personal affect. So this is like the pictures and the frames and things like that that people have. Those are so cute and you should have them because that's what makes it more personal for you, right? Your space becomes your part of your personality. It gives you a sense of comfort, especially if you're spending a lot of time there. But you are going to have no more than maybe 6, 7 things, and you have to get rid of the rest. I'm not saying throw them away, but maybe have them in a box, in a container, and at the end of 6 months you can trade. So take, let's say you have 7 personal affects on your desk, little knickknacks and little dolls and whatever interests you have, like baseballs and such. You're gonna take those, put them in the box, and take some of the other ones and put them on your desk. And lastly, you're going to make sure that you schedule on your calendar a reminder once a month to go through and declutter your desk. If you know yourself and you know you're not going to keep it organized, then you have to put once a month to go through and clean and organize your desk. And if you want to join the community of people who are trying to be more efficient, more organized in their lives, then you want to become a subscriber so that way you could be with me as we go through this organizing journey in life together.